Hi there, I'm Dr. Todd Grant, and today we have Christine, who's helped us share her personal story today. And she's got an interesting story. We worked with Christine over the past little while, particularly with a swallowing problem and a throat problem. She's had trouble with since July. It's now September, or October, actually. And so I'm going to turn it over to her. She's going to tell you just a little bit of the details of what she's gone through, what she tried to overcome this with, and then we'll wrap this up.
Okay. All right, I first noticed some problems in end of July. I was on Pioneer Day. I started feeling like I had a bit of a lump in my throat, and I thought it was no big deal. It would eventually go away, but over the next couple weeks it started getting a little bit worse, a little bit more prominent. So I went and saw my general practitioner, and she thought, well, maybe I was just getting a cold. Just kind of wait it out and see what happened. And I didn't end up getting a cold, but this lump in my throat kept getting worse, and it started getting more uncomfortable. It caused some problems with swallowing, and eventually became more problematic to the point where it was hard for me to swallow. Eating solid food was causing some problems. Brushing my teeth would make me gag. I was losing my voice every once in a while, and this lump feeling in my throat was getting larger and started at the top and actually became farther and farther down. So actually felt like I was having problems breathing at times. So when I went back to my GP, she said that we needed to start looking at some of the problems. It looked like my thyroid was enlarged, and the word cancer was brought up. So we did some tests. I had my lab work done, went to the hospital, did an ultrasound and some other lab work, and I was relieved to find that it wasn't cancer. But the problem was I still had all the symptoms, and so if it's not cancer, what was it? So when I started talking to Dr. Grant about it, we tried a few things and had some relief, but nothing really fixed the problem. And then I came in the next week and found that over the weekend Dr. Grant had gone to a workshop, a conference, there we go, and I learned a new technique that he wanted to try. And
I'll take it from there.
yeah, go ahead.
So this was an interesting conference that I went to. Learned some techniques that I had not been exposed to before. And as a result, I was kind of excited, number one, that Christine didn't have cancer. We double-checked her examinations, her ultrasounds, her laboratory tests that she'd already gone over with me, and said, yes, I'm clean, I'm fine, thyroid's fine. All the levels were within normal limits. And during this conference we talked a great deal about scar tissue and adhesions. And so I thought, let's see if some of the information that I had studied about would make a difference for Christine. And so she got to be my guinea pig on this one. But we're grateful to have continuing education, to learn even more than we already know, so that we can continue to help people in new and creative ways. And it was really an interesting experience. As we went through the procedure, we finished up, and I said, Christine, why don't you go ahead and stand up? And she stood up, and I said, okay, I want you to swallow. And she swallowed. And for the first time, swallowed fully without gagging. And she says, I don't know what I'm going to do. She says, I can kiss my husband. Because she said every time she'd kiss her husband, she would gag.
It made me throw up.
It would make her throw up. She was experiencing this congestion around her throat to the point where she would have to literally hold a cup in her hand while she was driving the car. Because sometimes it would just come up, and she wanted to be prepared. And this was happening every day.
Yeah.
And so the miracle is that she can now swallow fully, doesn't have a lot of discomfort. There's still some challenges going on, but we're still fairly early.
Yeah.
But a huge difference made in Christine's life. And who knows, if you have a friend or a family member that would have a similar problem, we might be able to help them too. And we'll wrap this up by letting everybody know here that Christine, like all of our patients and our stories that they've shared with us, have been released by her permission to be able to share with you, to help you and hopefully your family too. Thanks again, and good day.